everybody, welcome back to Talk with Nia. So let's get into it. We still got to talk about this whole Diddy, Young Miami, and all of Diddy's girlfriends thing that we were talking about yesterday, because Diddy went on Twitter and said that Young Miami is not his side chick. He says she never has been and she never will be, and that he doesn't play about his shorty WAP, okay? He also says, so think what you want, but know that if you do something to hurt mine, I'm going to come to your house and we're going to talk about it like human beings. You know, DJ Academics and Young Miami was going back and forth. So Diddy took to social media to try to shut it down. Now, one of Diddy's little girlfriends, Gina, enters the chat, okay, and says, when she beefing with you over a guy, but whole time he got somebody else pregnant, City Girls down 1,000. Young Miami clapped back and said, Gina, you've been down bad ever since I came into the picture, ho. You've been crying for a baby for 10 years, crying on Tasha K because you wanted a baby. Poor Sushi. You wanted a baby, B. I have a career. You haven't heard from Diddy since the awards, reminiscing on abortions. Let that hurt go, Chung Lee. JT also has something to say and said he sent you to the chop shop. Sit this one out. So there is a lot going on because Diddy got this lady pregnant, right? We got this girl pregnant. Then we find out about another girl he's with. You know, now Gina's popping back in the chat. Young Miami's going off. Like, it's just a lot going on, okay? Too much going on. Now, let's move on. I want to talk about Ashanti really quick. So Ashanti goes on Watch What Happens Live with Auntie Cohen and gets asked if her and Nelly will get back together like J-Lo and Ben. All right, she was a little lost for words, but let me play you. At the end, she kind of said, like she didn't really give a solid yes or no. So we will have to see. I honestly don't know. But if they do get back together, you know, Ashanti did do an interview that I watched, and she did say that she wants to have kids. So if they do get back together and things are all good between them, they need to lock it down. And, you know, maybe he can give her a few kids because she did say she wants to be a mom. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, let's talk about the BMF actor Demetrius Flannery Jr., who's the star in BMF playing his father. All right. He was arrested at an airport for having a gun. And 50 Cent, okay, you know that 50 Cent runs that show along with a lot of other great shows on Stars like Power and all the sequels. 50 Cent went on social media and joked around saying, I guess he didn't hear them say cut, insinuating that, you know, Demetrius is out here acting like he's still playing his character on the BMF show. Now, Michael Rainey Jr., all right, you know, who plays Tariq on Ghost, and then Gianni, who plays his best friend, also joked about this as well on social media, and they tend to go back and forth with each other. You know, they always do, and it's all out of love. But, you know, BMF is going to be coming back on Stars for season 2 on January 6th. And speaking of Young Miami, she is going to be on the show as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching the show. But he got to be more careful. He can't be out here getting arrested, messing up this acting bag, even though they're done filming. But we can't have any hiccups, okay? Because I could definitely see BMF getting a season 3, 4, and 5, okay? And, you know, he's getting other opportunities with acting. So he got to get it together. Now, let's talk about this whole Tory Lanez case. Let's give an update on the Tory Lanez case and, you know, Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan has appeared in court to testify, and she let us know what went down about the shooting. All right. She admitted when she got on the stand, she was nervous. She didn't feel good and couldn't believe that she had to come up in there and do this. All right. Let me play you a recap of what happened.
2 of the trial is in the books. Meg Thee Stallion has finished testifying. Let me catch you up on what happened in the afternoon session. It started with the prosecutor leading with this. She said, hey, Meg, I know we went a little fast this morning. I want to slow down. And Meg said, yeah, I was a little nervous. And then Meg actually said, these were her words. She said, I want to feel strong. I want to come off strong, and I didn't. And then she proceeded to testify, and she did come off a lot stronger and a lot more sure of herself in the afternoon session. There were powerful moments talking about he shot me, talking about the pain and the trauma and the emotion this whole situation has caused her, talking about how she initially did not want to do this. She wanted to try to protect Tori. And so there were very powerful moments of the testimony. She explained that ultimately she did decide to go to the police and say that Tori was the shooter because of the false narratives that Tori had put out there. In her mind, she felt like she was a grown woman. She shouldn't have been hanging out with these people, getting involved in this mess. I'm not quite sure who these people that she was referring to when she was like, oh, I shouldn't be hanging out with them. She was hanging out with like Kylie Jenner, her assistant, Tory Lanez. So I guess she just meant Tori. I thought that statement was very indicative about how Meg feels about this whole situation, which is basically that she did nothing wrong, she had nothing to do with this mess, and she just wants to be completely removed from the whole situation. She denied that Kylie Jenner told her to leave. She denied that the security guard, and Kelsey had at one point left and then came back because she said, I want to go back to get Tori. She said that it was the security guard who wouldn't leave without Tori, and that's why she was there. But at the same time, she also admitted that she didn't want to leave without Tori. So again, there was a lot of this. She just didn't want to say anything that made her image look bad, and I don't know why. She denied that there was any sort of relationship between Kelsey and Tori, which could have led to her being accused of going behind Kelsey's back. And like in the car, she admits that in the car, Kelsey accused her of going behind her back. So I don't know how she's denying that there's no relationship between. The defense attorney asked her, hey, what did Kelsey mean when Kelsey said that this isn't the first time you've gone behind my back? And Meg said, oh, I don't know. Then we get to the shooting sequence, and I think the defense attorney did a really good job here focusing on the fact that, hey, did Meg Thee Stallion actually see who was shooting the gun? I don't think there's any doubt that 5 shots rang out. The question is who pulled the trigger, was somebody pointing at her, and who? The defense attorney established this, that Meg is in the front seat, front passenger, that Kelsey is directly behind Meg, and that Tori is in the rear passenger seat. He got Meg to testify this. Meg gets out of the car. She walks a couple steps to the front of the car by the absolute front. And then she goes a couple steps beyond that. All of this took a couple seconds. Within that time, apparently, Tory Lanez has made it from the rear passenger seat to now being on the passenger side. And from the passenger side, he pulls out a gun. She said he pulled a gun. From where, it's not clear, but he pulled a gun. He points it at her and shoots 5 times. Right before shooting, he yelled, dance bitch, leading her to turn around and then see him with the gun. He pulls it, points, shoots, 5 shots. Where's Kelsey in all this? She has no idea. What does she then do? She then crawls away. The part that the defense attorney focused on is how, in a matter of seconds, does he get from the rear passenger to having a gun in his hand to being on the passenger side in position to shoot over the window at you, all in a matter of seconds. To me, there had to be something else that happened in that sequence of events from the time she got out of the car and the time the shots rang out. And then she completely denied that there was any sort of altercation between her and Kelsey. As to whether there was an altercation between Kelsey and Tori, and there has to be some altercation because there's a fingernail on the ground and there's jewelry on the ground. And so and Kelsey has blood on her. Kelsey has her swimsuit strap ripped off. So how did that all happen? And apparently there was a bump. She says that I saw a bump between Tori and Kelsey, and I guess the prosecutors will use that to establish why Kelsey has got her strap ripped and jewelry on the floor broken and a fingernail lying on the middle of the street.
So after reading everything that went down and what she testified, watching these recaps of what happened, what do you guys think about this whole situation? I feel like there's a lot of people that are back and forth. Some are now supporting Megan. Some are still not supporting Megan. It's all over the place. I can't wait to hear what Kelsey says because you know she's coming as well. So I can't wait to hear what other witnesses say because I think they're going to have the driver of that car speak as well. So the story is really going to get very, very interesting. But what really hurt my heart to see is, Megan saying that, she would have rather him just basically killed her. If she knew she was going to have to go through all of this with this situation. So I definitely hope that, being that Megan has lost her parents, I definitely hope that she has a really strong support system and somebody to talk to, because this is a lot. No matter what you believe happened, this is a lot. It's a lot on all of them. Tori, Kelsey, and Megan. It's a lot on all of them. All of them need a huge support system because this is getting really messy and there's a lot of jail time on the line with this whole situation. So let me know what you guys think and I will see you in the next video. Bye.